Hi everyone, welcome back to my Bookie Babe book review series here in the channel. I'm Caitlin, your geeky girlfriend, and I want to welcome you all back to my channel. It's been a long time since I've posted anything here, and I apologize for that. I am working on getting a new laptop or a new way to record my movie reviews so I can get back to my Real Talk series, because I have about 15 movies that I've watched recently that I want to review for you guys, old and brand new, but I just have to figure out how I want to record it and kind of navigate that. So in the meantime, I did want to upload another book review for you guys in the channel. So if you're new here, thank you, welcome, and make sure you like and subscribe to not only this video, but the channel, and then you can hit that bell to get notified of my latest videos, my new videos, my lives, everything like that. So I just posted another book review, so if you scroll up or down or however you kids today say you're viewing the one below this one, there is another book review that's being uploaded at the same time, so make sure you go check that one out as well. And while you're at it, check out some of my other videos too. Today is going to be a book review of Ina May's Guide to Childbirth. This book was recommended to me by my sister-in-law, and she already knows my feelings of this book, so I'm not going to hold back because I want to be honest, and I find that there is I have nothing to lose for giving an honest review, and my sister-in-law already knows my feelings about this book, so I'm not going to hurt her feelings either, because I already told her to her face how I feel about it, so no holds barred. And I think that there is a lot of value in getting true information and honest reviews, so I'm going to review this book honestly and just give my honest review because that's what I do. And that's what being a reader and informing yourself is all about, and you should all seek out your own information, especially with decisions like parenting and childbirth and all of that. There's so much information out there that you yourself, it's your body, and you need to find your own information. So in an effort to help share information, my sister-in-law shared this book with me, Ina May's Guide to Childbirth, written by Ina May Gaskin, the author of Spiritual Midwifery. Ina May is one of the most famous midwives probably in the country, let alone the world. She's traveled the world, and this book is composed of two parts. I'm actually going to review part 2 first because I enjoyed part 2 better than part 1. Again, I'm not saying anything that I have not already told the person who recommended me this book, so this is not a shock. But I enjoyed part 2 better. Part 2 is the scientific journey that a woman's body, I say journey loosely, that a woman's body goes through throughout the labor and delivery journey. It breaks down pretty much what your body is naturally inclined to do, more than just intuition. Like our bodies as women are designed to perform certain functions, and labor and delivery is one of them, and it goes through the science of all of that, like what dilation actually is, what your body is doing, different things that can stop or hinder labor and delivery, and just some ideas to keep in mind. Nothing that you absolutely have to do, nothing's that required, but she kind of takes what's typically done in the hospital and then takes her midwifery skills and methods and tries to compare them and contrast them. And the second half of the book I felt was a lot less biased than part 1, so I'll leave that as it is, but she gives a lot of standard hospital practices. Now, mind you, this book was written in the, let me check because I had to look it up. This book was copyrighted in 2003, so this book is 20 years old. A lot of what is in this book is probably not considered standard practice for hospitals anymore, or they have morphed their practice into more of these natural midwifery-based practices. Again, this is not me saying that one thing is better than the other. I'm saying do your research, talk to your doctors, interview a midwife, whatever you want to do. This is not a one type of birth is better than the other. This is simply just a book review, an honest book review. So part 1 was very informative. It's not that I didn't enjoy, or part 2, was very informative. It's not that I didn't enjoy it. It's just, this was obviously a nonfiction book. I'm not pregnant. I'm starting to kind of gather that information, but there were parts of it that, as somebody who's trying to conceive, were hard to read. And it was a little bit disheartening, to read about other people having babies when you're not getting pregnant. So this is a long book. It's a lengthy book. I'll go ahead and just show you just a snippet. There's a lot, the print is kind of small, so it took a really long time for me to read. I probably have been reading this book for at least 4 months, maybe 5 months. It took me a very long time. This was a book that I had to read in very short snippets because I could only digest so much of the information at one time. I think the best thing out of this book is towards the very, very end, she gives a series of questions that you should ask your provider, your doctor, whomever, and I took screenshots of those and saved those in my phone for when that time comes. I felt like that was the most important part of the book, and just reading about what the body can do. But it's not, this book did not sway me one way or the other. It opened my eyes to some other possibilities, encouraged me to continue to find more information. And maybe that was the point of recommending me this book, was just to kind of open my mind and seek out some more information. Now let's talk about part 1. This is the part where I'm going to be very, very honest, and if you've read this book, I am sorry if this offends you. You don't have to finish watching this video. Part 1 is a collection of birth stories that are told and retold. Ina May retold them, or had these women retell their birth stories about how they gave birth at the farm midwifery center under Ina May's care. The farm has a capital T, capital F, and I felt very uncomfortable with some of the language that they were using, some of the verbiage that they were using. This felt like a cult manifesto to me. And some of the things that these women were saying in their stories, now mind you, these are not professional authors, they were just women retelling their accounts. However, some of the stuff that they put in this book, I could not stomach to read because I just didn't believe it. Talking about how birth is orgasmic and euphoric. Okay, that's great. I'm glad that it was like that for you. However, I need some practical evidence. I'm a very practical person. I don't believe, it's hard for me to believe that it felt that way. Talking to my own sister-in-law who did have a home birth, she was like, yes, there was definitely pain, but it was I knew that the pain was going to bring me something good. And some of the stories were like that. However, the first one out the gate was just very, very feelings-based, not a lot of facts, not a lot of information, just, oh, this was just an amazing experience, and I just loved it, and everybody should do this because it's such an amazing experience. That type of logic that was just why was it an amazing experience? Oh, I just loved it so much. Well, why? Well, because it was an amazing experience. And that's how I felt reading it. So it was very, very hard for me to get through part 1 of this book. I think in Goodreads, I rated this book a 2 out of 5 based on the information that I gained from it alone. If we're here in the channel, I like to rate things out of a 10. And I would probably keep it the same, a 2, based on part 2 alone. Part 1 was very hard for me to stomach, very hard for me to read because I just found it almost not laughable. I wasn't laughing at them, but it was this is just unbelievable to me. And that's just to me. To other people, it's probably the great, my sister-in-law absolutely loves this book. She said it's one of the best books she's ever read in her life. It's in her top 10. She would recommend it to everybody. It's just not that for me. But I appreciate the information. I did get some information out of it, and that could be you. In terms of child preparation books, child rearing books, I did enjoy What to Expect Before You're Expecting a little bit better. I felt like I got more out of that one. It is, however, more commercialized, more standard towards the hospital and the conventional books to read. This one is probably more of the non-traditional books, and just midwifery and the midwife care and all of that is still sort of non-traditional and kind of taboo. So just keep that in mind. It's not, like I said, this is not me saying that one is better than the other. This is just based on reading alone and what I enjoyed as a reading material. I preferred What to Expect Before You're Expecting better. Real Food for Pregnancy is still the top of the child preparation books that I've read. And yeah, I think that's all I have to say about that. So that's it. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you want more information, if you want to learn more about the midwifery model of care, definitely recommend that book. If it's not something that you're if you're like 100% I want to go to the hospital, this book is not going to sway you to go. I don't feel that it would sway you away. But if you're like on the fence and maybe want some more information, maybe seek it out and try and find it. I know you can find it on Amazon and probably other major book retailers as well. I think Half Price Books even has it, Barnes & Noble, those types of places. So that's it for this video. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for the recommendations. If you are watching this video and have a book that you want me to read, drop it in the comments. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.